You're listening to the Self-Trust Solution Podcast with Dawn Leday, episode number 79. Welcome back. Today we're diving into one of the beneficial aspects of self-trust, and it's how it makes confidence replace second guessing, how it can actually make confidence blossom. So if you've ever struggled with making decisions, doubting your abilities, or fearing judgment, this episode is for you. We'll take a look at creating a safe space within, how to open up to different potentials, to make decisions from confidence, and how to allow that confidence to blossom. If you recognize the part your inner dialogue is playing in your fear of judgment, your doubts, or your struggle with making decisions, I have a gift for you. Head on over to theselftrustcoach.com to download my free ebook, Master Your Inner Dialogue. This guide is packed with practical strategies to help you transform your inner voice and achieve your goals with confidence. Transform your self-talk for goal success. Download your free copy of the ebook at theselftrustcoach.com. By cultivating deep, unshakable self-trust, we can make it safe to be wrong, make mistakes, and risk being judged. And the beautiful thing about that is that we are sometimes going to be wrong and make mistakes and be judged. And so it behooves us to make it a safe space. And in fact, it's very fascinating at how all of us, me included, can sometimes expect those things not to happen. Expect that we not make mistakes or get anything wrong, or just be wrong about something that we really thought we were right about. And turns out we were wrong about that. And then people will judge. We judge. People judge us. Sometimes it's positively, sometimes it's in a way we don't want to be judged and it's warranted. And sometimes it's in a way we don't want to be judged and it's not warranted at all. And the point is, it's all going to happen. And if we normalize that and not make it a problem, that's one beautiful start to creating less fear around it. But if we go even further and decide that no matter what, we're going to be okay. In fact, I am certain that you have been through moments where you have been wrong, where you have made mistakes, where you have been judged in a way that you didn't want to be judged, warranted and unwarranted. Probably all of that has happened to you. I know this because you're human and it's happened to so many of us. And you are on the other side of it, which means you survived it. Doesn't mean it's not painful. Doesn't mean there aren't parts of it we don't like. But you are okay. So you've already proven to yourself that you can get through those things. You can experience being wrong, making mistakes, and being judged and come out on the other side. Okay, maybe even stronger, even if there are scars. Sometimes that is part of where our strength comes from. So why do we really want to both normalize that those things happen, but also give ourselves so much credit for being on the other side of it, is that is where we create safety in ourselves and build that self-trust, because we're recognizing we are capable of going through such things and coming out on the other side. We're capable of having our own backs. We're capable of celebrating our ability to experience unwanted or unfavorable experiences. And when we make it safe for those potential outcomes to occur, and we don't make that a problem, we also allow the other potentials to be considered as well. So let's explore how this mindset shift can lead to blossoming confidence and fearless decision-making. You may already see it. By creating a safe space for those things to happen, we remove that fear because it's just okay. It's not necessarily desirable. We're not going to say it's our favorite necessarily, but if we've created a safe space for that potential outcome, not only are we able to explore the other potential outcomes, wanted, in between, not just the unwanted outcomes, we're able to look at more of it. Then obviously we don't have to operate from this avoidance or resistance or fear space. Because self-trust is not just about believing in your capabilities, it's about creating a safe space within ourselves so that we can feel secure enough to be wrong, to make mistakes and face judgment without letting these potential outcomes, these one variable of potential outcomes, derail our progress. When you trust yourself, you know that you will be okay regardless. And this safety net, if you will, allows you to approach decisions and challenges with a clear mind and an open heart. So, how can we start to create that safe space within? Well, the first is understanding that you are able to move through difficult circumstances. You are able to move through those spaces of making mistakes and being judged. And if you can allow yourself to risk those very normal parts of human existence, so one is normalizing that it can happen. It's not the only outcome, but it is a potential outcome. So we create a safe space by not arguing with ourselves. We don't try and bulldoze over it like that'll never happen. We actually are more honest with ourselves that, yes, that is a potential outcome. What else is a potential outcome? So we're not just focused on what could go wrong. We also can explore what could go right. And that way we're making a decision based on what we want instead of what we fear. The next is to open up to potentials. When we look at just what could go wrong, we're seeing one possible side of the story, not the only side of the story, not even all potentials of the whole spectrum. If we think of a spectrum of from everything could go wrong to everything could go right and all the different variables, there's a lot in between there, right? So we want to consider all potential outcomes. And we want to then exercise our ability to discern. Maybe we utilize data that we have. And we also recognize that these are potential outcomes that may be worth it anyway. It might be worth the risk, and you have to finish that sentence because of what? And that is where our wisdom can come in. There may be real obstacles, not feelings you're trying to avoid, but true obstacles that your brain's wanting to just bring to the forefront. And so if we can explore those, then look at all the possibilities and decide what it's worth for you to keep moving forward. What are the obstacles and how can I get in front of them if possible? Or what can I adjust in light of this potential obstacle? Or is it just worth that potential obstacle popping up for what's more likely to happen? So that is how we get into confident decision making. We base it on data and desire instead of fear and insecurity. We want to look at all potential outcomes, not just the ones we fear, not just the stories we tell about ourselves, about what other people are going to think about us, how they're going to be judging us, or how we may even be judging ourselves. We actually look for data and we look at what is the desire? What is the whole picture desire instead of just the in the moment fear or insecurity? And trust that inner wisdom to guide you towards the best choices. You have so much wisdom inside of you. I would love if I could just spend a moment with everyone that has a pervasive thought that tells them something that they hear as criticism, as judgment, as painful reminders of what you aren't. So that's how they're often delivered to me. And almost always, they're actually an invitation. There's actually some wisdom in there showing you who you really are. And it's hidden behind this judgment and this criticism tone, or these words that are not actually representative of the thought behind it. And it's amazing to spend time with someone and see that light, that change when you recognize that that thought is not telling you what you think it is. It's actually not what you're hearing at all. There's so much wisdom and you have so much of it that you're not accessing when you're looking through the lens of fear and insecurity. Take a break from that and really try to look at, what is my inner wisdom guiding me to? Am I hearing it as wisdom? What if I did? What if I just heard these words as a potential wisdom that could be inviting me to affirm myself in some way, or to look at a different perspective of how maybe I am not even the same person when this thought originated. I'm not even that same person. And so maybe this thought is not about me anymore. It's an invitation to remind me who I am now. And that is where the blossoming confidence comes from. It naturally grows when you create this safe space to be honest with yourself, to open up to your inner wisdom, to know that you're going to be okay regardless of the outcome. It allows you to embrace mistakes and judgments as part of the learning and growth process, and to see yourself for who you really are, this wise person who has endured and overcome and continues to grow and learn and evolve in beautiful and amazing ways. So here's a real life application that I want you to think about. Think about a recent decision you've been hesitant to make, or a situation where you've second guessed yourself. Now imagine approaching this with the mindset that it's safe to be wrong, make mistakes, and risk being judged. How does this shift in perspective change your feelings about the situation? What other potentials open up for you now that you're not solely focused on fear and insecurity? What is the wisdom that your brain is offering? This is the power of self-trust, opening up to all possibilities and confidently making decisions for you based on what you want, based on the data you have, based on your ability to discern in the moment, knowing that sometimes it takes making a wrong decision and learning from it to know the best way forward, to capture that data to inform the next best decision. And if you build that self-trust, knowing that you're going to be okay and you're going to get what you need regardless of the outcome, that is how you grow in confidence to make decisions, to follow through on those decisions, to have your own back on any result and evaluate for the data you need to do it again. What will you take away from today's episode? My goal is for you to see how building self-trust will allow your confidence to blossom, will allow you to make decisions more powerfully. Self-trust creates a safe space within. Knowing you'll be okay regardless of the outcome makes it safe to take risks and make mistakes. I hope you take away an openness to all potentials. When it's safe to be wrong or judged, you can actually consider all possible outcomes, not just the unwanted ones. With self-trust, you make decisions based on data and desire rather than fear and insecurity. And watch the blossoming of your confidence. Confidence grows when you trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way, embracing mistakes and judgments as part of the journey. Remember, self-trust is the key to unlocking your potential and replacing second guessing with confidence. By creating a safe space within, you allow all potentials to be considered and make decisions based on data and desire. Confidence blossoms when you know you'll be okay regardless of the outcome. Embrace your mistakes and judgments as part of the learning process and trust yourself to navigate through each of life's challenges. Thank you for joining me today on the Self Trust Solution podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a review. This helps me reach new listeners, continue to create content, and it brings me so much joy in my mission to help you create self-trust fueled goal success. Join us next week for episode number 80. Thanks for tuning in and have a trust-filled week. Are you ready to finally achieve your goals with a simple and effective approach? Join the Self-Trust Lab, our 3E success method to streamline goal success will help you shift limiting beliefs, build a solid goal strategy, and create a roadmap for infallible follow-through. With master-level coaching and personalized guidance, you'll apply these tools and methods to make your goal success inevitable. You'll learn to overcome obstacles, make strategic adjustments, and celebrate every win along the way. Don't miss out on this opportunity to transform your life and how you go after your goals. Sign up today at theselftrustcoach.com/the Self-Trust Lab. See you inside.